Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm Teresa Crawley at Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. Today I'm going to be showing you a brand new, this is the Newmar London Aire, the 4551 floor plan, and this is a 2026. So new to the market, some changes that have happened that are exciting and make this an even better coach than it was before. I feel that they did a great job with the interior on this one. It's not too light, not too dark. It just feels fresh, homey, and it's got that transitional vibe, not too traditional, not too modern. It's just homey. So we're going to take a look around so you can see the complete floor plan, and then we'll get into the details of it. The London Aire is built on a Freightliner chassis. There is an option for a Spartin chassis, but this is a Freightliner here, and it has a 605 Cummins horsepower engine, so lots and lots of power, actually the most power you can get in a motorhome. So this has got that. We've got hydraulic leveling, we've got air leveling, we've got air ride all around. So this is a very comfortable, quiet, and lots of horsepower ride. I'm going to let you take a look through the whole coach, and I'll just give you some of the specs that we've got here, just so we don't waste time on that later. Some of the safety features that we have here: forward warning, active braking assist, electronic stability control, roll stability, road watch, lane departure, collision mitigation, adaptive cruise, and new this year we have auto rain sense wipers. We do have a 150-gallon diesel fuel tank. We have added at Transwest Starlink from Newmar. We had that added, as well as 4 solar panels. The solar panels this year have changed brands, so you can get even more power on them, and they also are going to charge a little easier if you happen to be under trees or something. So 480 watts there. We also have new this year a Rayco independent front suspension. Sorry, words are so hard sometimes. We have gray tank 50, black of 60, and freshwater is 150, and 20,000 pounds of towing capacity. So let's get into the beauty of the coach now that we've got all that out of the way. By the way, if I missed anything, I can definitely send you a spec sheet or the link to the Newmar website for some other details. There are other great videos out from Newmar, the company, that can actually give you a little bit more information too. So if I happen to miss anything, please reach out to me. But there are lots of resources that I can help you with. Okay, so here we go. We are in the living area of this gorgeous London Aire. Something new this year is this is Italian leather. This is not fake leather or whatever you wanted to call it, what it was before. This is real leather. It feels amazing, and it's going to definitely stand the test of time. So it feels great to the touch, and it just gives such a nice, beautiful feel overall. We have opted in theater seats here, and these are recliners as well. We have cup holders that light up with little chargers in here, and some storage inside of this as well. And then up above, of course, we have more storage. Newmar does this great felt carpeting inside, which I know is very difficult for you to see, but it's going to help with noise, vibration, things moving around while you're taking a corner. We also have these really beautiful windows that give tons of light. These big windows do not open, but we do have windows that open in the slide outs as well as next to the bed and in the bedroom. So we'll look at those when we get there. But for right now, I just wanted to point out, yes, you can get a little bit of breeze in here, and that's where those are going to come from. Directly across from your theater seats, you have your flat screen Samsung TV, and it is on a powered lift. So when I'm done watching TV and I want to see the beautiful view, I can just push a button over here and hit down, and then that will tuck right away. So you will notice scattered throughout the coach, there are these little touch pads, and I'll just be touching them here and there, but there are a lot of things on here that you can do. This is not your centralized system, but we have the option to turn off lights, turn on our vent fans are off, put our shades up or down, and we have day shades and night shades here, but we can even individualize each room that we want there. So for example, if I just want to put the dinette day shades down, I can do that with just the touch of a button. I can hear them going already, and you'll start to see that in just a moment. So these touchscreens are just absolutely fantastic. We also have the ability to change the HVAC here, turn on and off our floor heat, and check our power system. I can even turn on my generator from here. And then I can check my tank levels and turn on exterior lights as well. So these little touchscreens, they can have a little bit of variety depending on the space that they're in. For example, if it's in a bathroom, it's going to have different options than if it's right here in the living area. But you'll see these scattered throughout, and I'll try to point them out. But they're all in really great, handy positions. Right over the TV, we've got a little bit more storage here. And I'll just move along. Not much to talk about with storage, but it is there, and that's also very, very important. So this is where you would put any of your audiovisual equipment, for example, a cable box, so that you could get that to feed to the TV. Now, again, we do have Starlink already installed on this unit, and that's going to provide your Wi-Fi as well as if you wanted to do streaming, TV services, things like that. That is the InMotion, even though it doesn't really move. It actually works when you're going down the road. We also have a Bose soundbar already installed right here. So you're going to have a really great TV watching experience while you're in the coach. All right, moving into the kitchen area. Really nice looking. This is a solid surface countertop. And then we, of course, have more storage. Anytime you see a shelf like this, it's going to be adjustable in height, so you can put it how you like it. Little place for small things up here. Now this microwave is something I'm totally crazy about because it's not just a convection, it also has an air fryer in it, and that's why you have a basket now. So this can air fry things, one less appliance to take along with you. And then of course the Newmar induction cooktop. That can go outside. Another one of my favorite things. I still don't know of any other brand that has copied this, even though it's absolutely genius. So you can take this outside and cook. It also makes it really easy to clean this up underneath if you get crumbs down there or anything. And on the opposite side of the covers, we have cutting boards. Standard this year in the London Aire, we have a kitchen window, so you don't have to worry about paying for an optional upgrade. It's just going to be here now because everybody likes it, everybody wants it. And then, of course, we have a pull out here to give us a little bit more working space in the kitchen. Also makes a great social area if you have guests here that you could set drinks or a charcuterie board. We also have these full extension soft close drawers in this little island. Another great drawer right under the induction. This one right now has a lot of your extra parts. We keep them there so we don't lose them. We've got some touch-up paint, controls for TVs, as well as the Girard awnings, some extra paint, and other little things that you're gonna need. And then we have a Fisher Paykel dishwasher down here. Now, if that's not something that you really care about, you could order a unit without it, or it also makes really great storage for your larger and deeper pots and pans. All right. Now we've got another great storage place here. Right now, again, there's some of the parts that come with the coach when it's new. This is your manual book, and that's for your leather upkeep. But we do have this really great pull-out place here so that you can reach things that are in the back of the cabinet there. And if you needed taller things, you could just take this shelf right out. Another storage spot here. You'll notice we also have one of those control panels so we can quickly open, close shades, turn off on lights, or turn on the exhaust fan that is right above us right here. There are 3 of these throughout the coach, so one here and one in each bathroom. Really nice to get that extra steam out or smoke, whatever it is that you've got going on. It's going to really help very quickly. Makes a huge difference. And then we of course have your kitchen sink, nice and deep, and really a great looking black sink, black faucet. Just a little place for sponges and doodads there. And then we also have more storage under here. They do include one wastebasket just so that you don't have to worry about getting the correct size. And then another place that you can put cleaning pieces there. There's also way back tucked away there, another one, a place of the felt carpeting thing, but they make it so that these sink covers or the cooktop covers can be stored there for long term and you don't have to worry about them rattling around. Okay, let's look at this booth dinette. We of course have more storage here all the way across. You'll notice we have really nice LED lighting throughout the coach. It doesn't get hot, it doesn't burn a lot of energy, even though we have plenty of power on this coach with the solar and everything. That's not going to be an issue from the lights. This table actually pulls out. We have two islands that are hidden beneath the bed. We'll see those when we get back there. But you have plenty of room that you can extend this. It also comes with two fold-away chairs that match the decor. So if you wanted to have some people over for a game night or you just have a larger family, then you can actually seat two more people here with what they have provided. And then on either side of the booth, we have a little bit more storage. So I'll pull that out. That's what you get. And again, anything counts on a motorhome, but that is what it looks like under there and on the opposite side as well. They're exactly the same. All right, here we have your residential Whirlpool refrigerator. It does have water in the door. Ice is in the freezer below, but it does have an ice maker. So you just reach down here for that. And then a really nice size refrigerator with a water filter included. This coach does have a whole house water filter, so the water coming in from wherever you're camped will be filtered as well, but just to get that out of the door there, it's going to be extra filtered. And then we have this really great pantry here. Again, these shelves are adjustable and they lock into place, and then our full extension as well. Really nice to have that. Now down here, Newmar started doing these dividers. So of course you could put baking sheets or things like that, but really the more practical thing, you're not going to need a lot of baking sheets without an oven, is to put your pots and pans sideways. So that's going to help them stay in a space that makes sense for them and not be rattling around, getting scratched, things like that. Okay, so now we're at the big control panel. So we're in the hallway about mid-coach right now. This is where I can look at everything. So I can see right away that my tank levels, my battery levels. I can change my HVAC system here. So very, very specific places here. So now this coach has an Oasis system for the heater as well as the hot water system. So you can turn your Oasis burner on there, element 1, 1 and 2, etc. We also have individualized, so we can do AC, that's AC there. We have auto, so it'll just do what it wants, basically. Heat pump is coming from the air conditioning units. Fan, and then off. So we've got a lot of different options there. Again, our shade control, and that can be very individualized to each room, each one, or we can just do all day and all night, all at one time. So if it's time to go to bed or you're gonna watch a movie, you can hit all coach night shades and the whole coach will go dark with the shades there. Let's see here, or we can just do it to specific rooms as well. Now fans are those 3 fans I was talking about earlier, kitchen, bathroom, and half bathroom, which we're going to get to in just a moment. It's right here. And floor heat, front, middle, and rear, high, medium, low. This is our power systems. Again, you're going to check on how are my batteries doing, and you can turn your generator on and off from here. Exterior lights, and then all around lights. Now you'll notice there's a little Bluetooth symbol here. That means you can Bluetooth your phone to that. And this system is new this year. They got rid of the old system, and now this is a Newmar app, ATC it's called. I don't know that you need to remember that, but it's a much more user-friendly way to be able to control your whole coach. So I really like that. Okay, so I'm sure you've noticed we've got some really beautiful cabinetry throughout. Newmar makes this, and it is solid wood. We do have a really cool little handle here, and it's not just that it's cool. The reason that this is cool is because when you have a handle that sticks out, you're gonna, in a tight space, you're gonna get your clothes caught on it. It's gonna be a little bit more difficult to pass through when the slides are in. So this just lifts up like this. Then we of course have the Newmar pivot door. So again, when the slides are in, it makes it a lot easier to get in this bathroom. So this again is your half bathroom. We've got some storage options in here, which I'm going to open up for you and then step out. This is not a large bathroom. This is really for guests or for when you're closed up to be able to use that space. Above the toilet here, we have what's basically a breaker box electrical system. So not really storage here. We have that exhaust fan that I was talking about earlier. We have a window that can open, and we of course have day-night shades here for privacy. A little bit of storage here, and then a little bit of storage there as well, which I can't actually show you at this angle. But you'll notice while you're looking down there, we have the vacuum component hookup there. That's if you wanted to use a more traditional, like a hose type of vacuum. And we also have right next to it, this is the kick plate. So if you were to sweep to that and the system was turned on, you would just kick that up and it would suck away the debris that you had swept right in front of it. So really nice little system. We do have a porcelain toilet that does have a macerator integrated in it, as well as a macerator system that has been added onto the whole coach. A little bit more storage here and a handy little spot for your toilet paper. Kind of cute. And then we of course have a medicine cabinet here. You'll notice that there's 110 plugs in there, but there's also one here that you probably can't see from where you are. So I just want to point out there are extra plugs throughout this coach that you may not see. And that control panel that does the lights and things is actually over here on the wall where you can't see either. So I'm going to step out, let you get a good look around. Now moving into the master bedroom, I want you to see that we have these privacy doors here, and they do go back in and lock into place when you're done with them. You're going to hear a little click, and that means that that is locked into place. So to release that, there's just a little push for the lock. It's very easy to use. Unlike some other brands, I've seen some really weird locking mechanisms like Velcro straps and snaps and things like that. This is definitely a more high-end, sophisticated look to it. All right, so we are in the master bedroom. We have a really great dresser situation over here. I'll give you a real quick overview. We've got 4 of these little drawers here, and then we have 6 of these really big, deep drawers. I'll show you just by my hand. This is so deep. You can put so much stuff in here. So 6 of those again. And then of course we have a flat screen TV, but this has a little secret behind it. Let me see if I can pop it out there. So not only can you pivot the TV to get a better angle on it when you're watching it, but back here we have some hidden storage. And this is where they have tucked the safe away. So the safe is not very deep. Somebody had commented on one of my coworkers' videos about the safe. They never show the safe. Well, I can't really get into the safe because we're trying to keep the keys intact, but it's about yay deep. and about as wide as the door is, just for a visual. I'll try to get in another video a good shot of the safe, but just so you know, you can put some gold bars in there and stacks of cash, but it's not going to be a super deep safe. But it is great to have that and tucked away where nobody knows where it is, unless they've watched my video. And then just put this back when you're done. All right, and that will lock into place as well. Okay, a little bit more storage up here. And this is, of course, where you'd put audio-visual equipment. Again, you can tell by all the cords and things, it looks a little messier than some of the other cabinets, but that's why. We have an emergency exit window here, which probably won't get used for any reason because we have an emergency exit door on this coach. Much easier to get out of, but that is a place you could get some air in here, as well as this window is going to open. And then we have two on either side of the bed that will open as well. So particularly when you're sleeping, you can get a really nice cross breeze in here. And then up above the bed, more storage. Now, Newmar does something kind of unique where they put 110 right there in the middle. So if both partners happen to have sleep apnea machines, they can both plug in there. And then there's a port on either side right here that you could put the tubing through, or whatever electrical thing you need to have here, you can put the wires through here and plug in back there. Really thoughtful. We of course have reading lights on either side and another touchscreen panel up here, so you can turn on and off lights, turn outside security lights, put down your shades, etc. Next to the bed, we do have a little bit of a table and a little bit of a storage area. There's also a 110 inside of there, tucked away. It's almost like they thought of everything. No, Newmar is a company that really listens to their customers. They hang out with their customers and try to implement things that will make the camping experience a little bit easier. One quick thing I wanted to point out for you, if you're kind of a clean freak, you don't like to see dust and things like that, I want you to see that they thought of that. So when you need to get these mirrors clean, you can just pull this piece off really easily, get back there, dust this as well. Simply the best. I always tell my customers, Newmar is the best you can buy, but it's one of those things as a salesperson, I can't just say that. I need for you to do your own research, come and drive this compared to other units, and look at the little things. Look at how well the hinges are made. Think about the star foundation and all of those things that go into a Newmar that they don't have to do. It just makes it a better coach all around. So these are those 2 extra chairs I was talking about and the 2 extra leaves. If you don't need those, that would be a great thing to be able to leave at home and use this for linen storage or something else. Another quick thing to point out is you'll notice you didn't see air conditioning units or vents on the ceiling, and that's because Newmar does a really beautiful decorative ceiling to cover that. This is your air conditioning input and output. They also make it easy for you to open and clean the filters out just by your rinse. So another thing that just was thought ahead and gives it a much nicer residential look. We also have porcelain tile floors and no carpet in this coach whatsoever. So even on the slide out, they've been able to find a way to get a porcelain tile floor on that slide out. All right, moving back into the main bathroom, we have another one of these doors that closes for privacy. And then we have your washer and dryer unit right here. I'll open that up so you can take a peek. It is stackable, which is very, very different from an all-in-one. Much more efficient, much more user-friendly. You can put more in it. And you can stop the cycle on the dryer, pull things out so they don't get wrinkly by the time you get them out. We also have a really nice vaulted ceiling, makes it feel a lot bigger in here and brighter, but it's also great for our taller folks. A huge, huge shower. And this is, again, porcelain tile. Really good, clean look. They did a really good job with that black, what do they call it? hardware, I'm sorry, fixtures. Sorry, words again. But you'll also see there's a little pamphlet hanging there, and that says shower miser. What that is it's going to recirculate the water until it's at the temperature you have desired. So once that desired temperature is reached, a light comes on, and then you can turn the water on. That's going to prevent you from just letting water go down the drain. So wasteful, especially when you're not plugged in. That's going to be something that's going to come in very useful for you. They did start to include body wash, shampoo, conditioner, pump in there, and we do have a fold down shower seat. Really nice that that's been included because you can't add them after the fact. So again, a porcelain toilet with a macerator, but this behind here is your emergency exit door. Now this is such a big deal. If there were to be some kind of an emergency and you needed to get out very quickly, this is going to open up for you. We are not very far from the ground, meaning you could jump out easily, but they've also included a ladder in here, so that can drop down quite easily as well. This is also just a great place if you needed to throw out trash bags, or you're moving out of the coach and just wanted to get stuff out quickly. You can do that or hand it to your partner. We're going to lock that back up. Again, an opening window here. Here we have your main closet area. You'll notice that it did light up when I opened it. We've got a hanging bar here, as well as some shoe storage, and I'll open up the other side so you can get a better look at the shoe storage. There we go. And then back to the driver's side, we do have some shelving there that you can do what you wish with to make it a little bit more customizable for you. All right, we've got a double vanity, so you don't have to fight over who gets the sink. You can each have your own. We also have a really nicely lit mirror here. Now, one thing I got to tell you, we've got a fake out on this side. This is not going to be a medicine cabinet. That's access to the washer and dryer for when you need to winterize it. But you do get a really nice medicine cabinet on this side. And then down here, of course, on either side, we have storage. We do have outlets as well, and then some drawers. Full extension again. And 4 of these. So I love that they light up when you open them. That just really makes it so nice. Again, outlet on this side too. So we're going to be able to plug in our shavers and hair dryers, things like that. So that about wraps it up for the interior of the coach. I'm going to start putting slides in, and then we can take a peek at the outside. All right, so the bed slide is always first because it's the only one that's controlled from the back. This is using the Newmar cogwheel system for slide outs, which they invented the slide out for motorhomes. They still use it because it works very, very well. They've had to step away from that on some of their slides. For example, this very large slide that has the porcelain tile, because it's heavy. And it got to the point where with residential refrigerator and the porcelain tile and things like that, they needed some other kind of system, because just for a visual, the slide goes all the way from here to right behind the driver's seat. So it is a very large, very heavy slide. So this one happens to be hydraulic. Now I'm going to put this little extension away, and then I can go up here and show you how that works. You always want to make sure your front seats are out of the way. Otherwise you can tear up both this piece and this piece, which is not a fun day. And you'll hear the difference in the slide mechanism. So again, that's a hydraulic slide. It's going to lift up and then start to go in. And these slides also have a self-locking feature, so you don't have to worry about putting a slide lock in. I've always hated slide locks because if you happen to forget one's there or not be aware that it's there, you can really compromise your slide by pulling it in. Or excuse me, pushing it out with that lock in there. So the fact that this is just smart and does it itself, very, very handy. All right, that is fully in. So now you can see this is the amount of walking space that you'll have when the coach is in travel mode. So I can get here and cook. I can use the sink. I can also get into the refrigerator and this half bath because there's enough room. I'm not saying it's a dance hall, but it is enough room to walk through. And I know that our dogs appreciate this when we're traveling. Okay, we'll check out this front area real quick. We've got our Starlink box up here, our energy controller here. This is going to be your Girard awning controller, and if you're curious, it just unlocks, turns it on, and then channel 1 would be the first one, channel 2 is the second, out, in, and light. That's what that is there. And we also have some window awnings on this coach, so those are individually, they can be put out individually. We have security lights on both sides, driver privacy drape. That's just going to make it dark in here in the cab front. So there's also going to be buttons for these down here, but this is for if it's nighttime and you just wanted to do it this way. We also have them on the passenger side as well. And I don't want to put them all the way down right now, but just know that they can go all the way down for a full darkening situation. Those slide out controls are right here that I was just using. And then we have exterior light, exterior step, and Wi-Fi router to turn on there. Okay, I'm going to turn this on really quick just so you can see what it looks like up here, how beautiful it is. I think I need to get my fob a little closer. So one of the beautiful things about a diesel pusher is that the engine is in the back, so you're not going to hear it going down the road. You can have a very comfortable conversation up here, not have to be shouting at one another to be heard. The generator is right below us, but usually you're not going to have that running while you're driving. Again, this is a Freightliner chassis. And I love how they set this all up for us. We, of course, have your windshield wipers. We have auto rain sensing wipers on this coach. That's new this year. But I really like how they've added the shifting gear right here on the column. So, excuse me, if I wanted to go into drive, I would just flip this up. I don't need to look away to get that done. Neutral, and then reverse is just flipping it down. I can put it into manual or automatic by just pushing this button here. And then I also have my engine brake right here on the column as well. So you can see the little symbol there. That means engine brake. And it's on high right now. And then I can put it low, medium. Sorry, I keep doing it too fast. And then off completely. We also can change this front screen as to what we really want to look at the time. We can change the steering effort, and that's something that's a really big deal. If you don't know what I'm talking about, comfort drive steering, very big deal. Makes a huge difference between any other coach and this coach as far as your actual driving experience. A lot less effort is needed to do the driving. I can literally drive this with one finger. I've done plenty of U-turns at stoplights in a 45-foot long coach, Newmar. You can't do that on some of the other brands that are very high quality units. It's a very, very big deal. Fuel economy, Mobileye, Road Watch, etc. Those are some of those safety features, the Mobileye and the Road Watch, and you can adjust them to your liking. If you don't want to be notified all the time when you're departing the lane, because it is going to beep at you. Some people don't want that. You can turn it down or turn it off here. And then, let's see here, back. There's just a lot of things that you can customize to your exact liking. You have a tire pressure monitor system here you could keep up the whole time. You even have a diagnostic, which is going to save you money when you take it in if you need service. Then we of course have your phone call situation right here. So if you receive or need to make a phone call, you can do that, as well as your cruise control is right there on there. Then over here we have your Sirius XM, as well as all of your other your audio-visual stuff that you might want to do. So if you wanted to connect your phone or do Apple CarPlay or whatever it is, you can do that here. You can also put in navigation here, and it'll take you there without you having to look at a phone or anything like that. You can change what your cameras are looking at. So as you can see, we've got the camera here. It's on the passenger side right now, but we could also have it looking at a 360-degree view, as if there was someone floating above us, videotaping everything we're doing. We can also keep an eye on our tow vehicle. This was equipped with a trailer camera option as well. So it's set up to be able to tow a whole trailer. So if you have horses or race cars, or you're just pulling stuff, you can actually hook up this camera as well to that, as well as an airline for braking. That's already been integrated here. All right, we'll go back there. Here we have house and chassis battery boost. That's basically a jump start for either one of those batteries if you happen to be running low. We have the ability to dump our tag right here, which it will do automatically, but some people like to have that extra control. Front fans, overhead fans, docking lights, courtesy lights, and your generator start stop, and your entry lock here. Your visors and shades. The visors are the darkening ones that I showed you in just a moment ago. The shade is this front one here, and it will only go partway down when I have the ignition on, because it doesn't want you to have a compromising safety situation. We also have drawers here. You know, you got to have somewhere for your sunflower seeds and licorice when you're going down the road, right? Okay, I'm going to turn this off real quick, and then you can see we do have an air leveling system right here. So that's going to give you the ability to do a low ride or a high ride. This is just another way that you can level when you're parked as well. So you can do it going down the road or when you're parked. Then you of course have your leveling jacks that are hydraulic here, the computerized leveling. So those are your actual feet that go down. This system uses your airbags. This system uses those feet. So depends on how much you need and how long you're staying, things like that. You've got both options. Right here we have powered and heated side mirrors. Automatic traction control override. This is for your toll window here. Oop, I think I have to have this on. I apologize. Let's see. Yeah, I need to have the ignition on. So anyway, this window opens with the push of a button. We can also turn air horn on and off. And then we have some charging down below for your cell phone or whatever you have there. We also have a little pad here for your cell phone to charge, although I find that it doesn't work great when I have a case on my phone. I just pop my case off and then I can actually charge it there really easily. This is your brake controller. So again, if you're towing something and you're hooked up to that braking system, that's what that is for. And then we have some adjustments here for the pedals to come closer to me or further away from me by this little dial right here. And then the steering wheel itself has a little pedal down there that's tilt and telescope, so I can get that to a very comfortable position for me. Now on the way out, I just wanted you to see the passenger seat. It's very similar to the driver's seat. Of course, it's powered in every way. It's got heat and cooling on the seat here. Again, this is that really nice Italian leather. They both have footrests and they're both going to turn around all the way. But this is something I really wanted you to see, is this extra navigation screen here. So what that's going to do is exactly what that front system did. So we can do our navigation programming there. We can change the way the cameras look. We can change what we're listening to. And the reason that is important is not so the passenger has a say in everything, but it's a safety issue. So if you're driving and you're trying to type in an address, that's really not the safest way to do things. Having your passenger having the ability to do that for you, that's going to save you from having to pull over and get you to where you need to go safely. I love that. We also have some controls over here for just the passenger. They have their own light step cover, which covers this piece of the floor. And of course, it's automatic. You just push the button and it goes. We have their visor, which is over here, and the patio light. Now this exit door, you'll notice I have a screen right now, but that screen is retractable, so I can just pop that out of the way when I want to just have the great view outside. And then you'll hear we have a hydraulic step that's coming out right now. I'm going to make sure my bay doors are unlocked. So what's the deal with a hydraulic step? Well, for one thing, it gives you an extra step going into the coach. So for those people who don't have a lot of mobility, this is going to make it a little bit less of a hike to get up those steps. The other beautiful thing about these steps is that they stop when they touch something. So if they were to hit a curb or hit my leg, they would stop. They wouldn't keep going and break the steps. They also have a really nice clean look when they're tucked away. Of course, we have your programmable door code as well as programmable code to lock and unlock your basement doors. We also have a doorbell feature on there, and that's because Newmars are so well insulated. If someone were to knock on your door, you wouldn't be able to hear it in most parts of the coach. So nice to have that. We got Michelin 365s on here, biggest that they can put on there, and Alcoa wheels. We also have a beautiful paint job. This is paint that is going to stand the test of time. It's not going to fade, crack, or have any issues over time. It's BASF. I don't know if you need to know the brand, but it's what high-end car manufacturers use as well. And then they do what they call a cut and buff, which means there's no texture here where each of the stripes are painted. It's just a very clean and beautiful paint job. So in this first bay here, we have a programmable fridge freezer. And so that's going to come out pretty far. And the reason that that comes out so far is if that slide were still out, I'd still be able to access this. Now you'll notice there are two doors here. That's because you can make each side do a different temperature. So you can make one a freezer, one a refrigerator, or both a freezer, or whatever it is that you need at the moment. And then that slide will just tuck right back away. We have your outdoor TV here. And again, it's a flat screen TV, Samsung with a Bose soundbar. So you're gonna have really, really nice entertainment while you're out here. You can also Bluetooth your phone music to that, or however it is that you want to do that. And you of course could put the awnings out for that evening entertainment, and that's a really nice thing as well. All right, our next bay has a powered storage tray. Now these trays, I'm going to say it once and it applies to all of them, it goes out to approximately 60% of either side of the coach. This particular one can only hold 1,000 pounds, so I can't even imagine what all you could put on here. That's a lot of weight. But either way, it can go out to both sides of the coach, and then they've built in a little shelf there as well. Again, that really nice felt carpeting, so it's going to minimize vibration, sound, things breaking, shifting, etc. Easy to close doors, love that. All right, this next one also has a tray. It is not powered, but it is much wider than the previous one. So again, both sides of the coach, about 60%. All right. One more. Now this one only goes about halfway, or maybe 60% through. because our hot water system is located on the opposite side. We also have your vacuum system here, so those vacuum components can be plugged in right here as well, but this is where you would change your bag when it's time to do so. We've got plug-ins here, we've got some extra tile in case you happen to break some, an air hose. Vacuum components are right there, and that's in case there were ever an issue with your slide. They give you some, actually I could be wrong about that. So, but the thing is that I hardly ever see them get used. So anyway, now this used to be a tool storage place because it's not very deep, but Newmar got the great idea to put kind of the brains of the system here. This is going to help you know, did I pop a breaker? Where is it? Because it's really, really well. It's also going to help save you time at the shop. They'll be able to know what's going on with the electrical systems by looking at that. So really nice to have that. Now, of course, we have a steerable tag here. Again, Michelin's, but these are 315s in the back. So we've got duals here and a single on that steerable tag. That's going to give you a much tighter wheel cut, much better ride back here as well. Right here is where you would put in your def. Now you can put def on both sides of the coach and it'll go to the same tank, but that holds about 15 gallons. You have to fill it about every third time you go to the gas station. And then you can see here we've got the emergency exit door. Again, not a far jump if it needed to be a jump, but again, it has a ladder, so hopefully you'll never have to use that. Right here we just have engine batteries and the disconnect for said engine batteries, so you don't drain those if you're not using the coach. We also have a place for a diagnostic to be plugged in there. Now we have 20,000 pounds of towing capacity here. So for those of you who need to tow horses, race cars, things like that, you can actually do that here. Again, we have a hookup for a camera system for the trailer, which is the Voyager. This is your receiver hitch, obviously. 7-way pin, and then we already have an integrated airline there, so you can be all set up to tow. We also have a very easily accessible engine. Again, this is a 605 Freightliner, or excuse me, Cummins. Is this not going to pop? There it is. There we go. So it's on a really nice hydraulic there. It makes it easy to get to. But for those of you who want to keep on top of your, engine oil, things like that, which everyone should be that person, it's very easy to get to and access there. Okay. We of course have a side radiator on this really nice high-end coach. This is the other side of your def. So again, you can fill both at the same time. That's going to hold true for your diesel fuel as well. You can fill both at the same time. This is just a little cubby. You can put dirty things that you want to keep separate, like the gloves you use to dump your tanks, things like that. Over here, this is going to be your water bay. So again, whole house water filtration system. We have a gray tank rinse, black tank rinse. The SantaCon is that macerator system that I was telling you about, which is this right here. That can pump your black tank contents uphill if need be. We also have another great touchscreen setting here. So you can check your tanks and know if you're almost full. You can hit autofill or top off there as well. And you can also check power system, how are my batteries looking, start your generator from there. And then exterior lights can be turned on there as well. This is for paper towels, outdoor shower, and low point drains. They make this very user-friendly for those of you who want to winterize it yourself. And then we have your water hose here that's on a power rewind reel here. So very easy to put that away. This is going to be your 50-foot 50 amp cord. And again, this is on a power rewind reel. However, the button for it's right here, so you don't have to bend down to get to that. Just right there on the door. You'll also see back there we have your transfer switch with surge protector. This is your tankless water heater / heater for the coach. The brand is Oasis, that's why we call it your Oasis system. But again, it's going to provide as much hot water as you have water. It's very quick, very easy to use, and you don't have to worry about running out of hot water like in other coaches. Now, we looked at these exact slide outs on the opposite side of the coach. They do the same thing, but I just wanted you to know I wasn't hiding anything from you. All right, this is the one that's powered, and that button is over here on the door. And here we have your house batteries, 8 of them. Lots and lots of power to make this thing keep going. This is where your diesel fuel goes, and then up front here we have another control panel, but also the place that you're going to put your generator out. So this is on a powered hydraulic slide. Oh shoot, I have to have the ignition on to make that go. So we've got breakers up here, we've got the generator on a slide, and I'm going to go turn that on real quick just so we can get a good peek at it. But take a look at how beautiful this front end is. All right, we'll try that again. It's a big enough deal that I wanted you to see it. A lot of them just have a pop-up hood and it's kind of hard to get in there. But this one, it's very, very easy to get into your generator and service it. I also just really love the sound of that diesel engine. So there's your generator. You do have the ability to start and stop it from there, as well as service it there. And you have another few handy things up here, windshield wiper fluid and things like that. So the basics of a motorhome and some. This has really got everything you could ever really need. So if there's anything I can help you with on this coach or any others, I'm more than happy to help. My name is Teresa. Please ask for me by name when you call Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. And have a great day.